back in the shed again, and we're making a couple of these to make a little dolly. This is made out of a bit old scrap metal, and nicked the skateboard wheels off a brand new skateboard, which is here, $7.90 from Home Bargains, cheaper buying the wheels. So what I've done is I've got an old television stand here. Used to sit a bit like that. Do that. Well, we could use that, but it's going to be easier just to weld the angle iron straight onto the plate. So we're going to do something with this to make the this will be the base. Weld a couple of tracks on like that, and then run them on pipes to give us our dolly. Okay, so what we need to do is cut another one of these, nice cleaned up bit out of this old rusty stuff, so we'll get fit now cutting that. The old hacksaw. Just have to collect the best bit and make it the same size as this one. Here somewhere. Right. You'd do it with the big angle grinder and just cut it, but it would throw sparks everywhere, so just cut it by hand. Okay. All I have to do now is clean that up so it's as clean as the other one. That's all cleaned up with the wheels on. So a bit of grinding to do and bore a few holes. Right, what we're going to do now is it's a bit rusty, but the other one I cleaned it up and then marked for the holes, and I couldn't see the marks, so I'm going to drill it now so I can see the mark. We'll measure down 15mm and the N35 there, and then bore 4 8mm holes, because the skateboards use 8mm rods through their bearings. So we'll do that next. Okay. So if we're measuring about 35mm, then down 15. It should match the other one. I'll centre punch the hole. So the drill sort of goes where I want it. Just check that. It's fine that way. It's fine that way, so get that pinch that a bit better, I think. Right, we're going to drill an 8mm hole through here with a vertical boring bit. This is for the axle for the skateboard wheels. So that's that. We'll just repeat that 4 times to get the 4 holes. Right, now we're next, I bored the holes while you were sleeping. So we've now got our 4 holes for our 4 axles for the skateboard. So a nice old rusty bit of metal. We're going to take the angle grinder and polish it up like this. This takes a little bit of time and effort, but if I can recycle stuff without buying it, that's what I do. This is where the Sherry cam was made, by the way, in this shed. So our next job's polish this up. If you give me about 15 to 20 minutes, I'll get the safety gear on. Right, kitted up for grinding now with the old safety goggles on. Got some ear protectors here somewhere as well. Get them on. The old welding gloves. Keep the HSE happy. And a little grindette. So I'll have to work at that for about 15 minutes. Right, now I've been busy while you were away cleaning up that. So what we'll need to do now is get the skateboard wheels off the skateboard. So I've got this lovely gadget here. Dad's everywhere I like. So you just put it in there. Make sure it's going the right way, of course. So this is the old compressor that's making all the noise, but it's a pretty good little compressor. 115 quid off Amazon because it was in the sale instead of 200, so I love a bargain. Skateboards with double bearings in them, so we'll need to make some axles now, and some axles for the wheels to run on. So I'm going to use some 8mm screwed rod and M8 nuts, probably weld them and the back ones in. Later on we'll do that. So we bored our holes already, so we'll stick that through there and skateboard will sit on there. I'll put a couple of spacing nuts on. To do it this way, easier. Just thread that up and thread that up a bit. They're quite close, so you might have to grind some corners off to get them to fit in properly. I had to do that with the other one. So that'll make one axle. Fill that through my pre-drilled hole. And I'll just bring this up. So that'll give us those two nuts will give us a spacer for the wheel to run on. It will go on like that. And should run the same as the other one did. So that's what will happen anyway, and then we'll do the same at that side, and the wheels will end up sitting like that so they can run on a bit of pipe. What we're going to do is we're going to weld the nuts onto here. You can see that I'm going to weld the nuts onto here so they won't turn in the future, and then I'll probably weld the angle onto the plate, the old TV stand, and and I've got to get them absolutely parallel. So we'll away and make up some axles, and then we might do a bit of welding. So everything's ready now. We're going to do a bit of welding with the old MIG welder here. I'm going to spot weld these nuts in so they won't come off. So that's what we're going to do next. So it's a MIG welder, one of the few 110 volt ones. Again, it was in a sale and I bought it. You need to connect up the gas to it. You need the carbon dioxide or argon shield or something. This is the welding gas for it. You just buy these little bottles, and it's an expensive way of doing it, but for all I do, it works out alright. They're about 17 quid each, for £14 in halfers. Let's check we've got some gas. Yep, got gas. All we need now is to power up the welder. And we're in business. Right, little tip for you. We've got this this welding hat here. You can see through it all the time, and as soon as you start welding it just goes absolutely black on you. It's adjustable for different welding grades there, but it's nice to have a bit of extra light on it. If you use the low energy light bulbs, it doesn't change it. If you use the old style light bulbs, it goes dark on you. Little tip: these low energy light bulbs explode when they get sparks on them. So if you grab an old coffee jar, stick it over the top like that, that'll stop it from going bang. And if you're using the grinder, it works quite well too. So we'll have this shining down with the coffee jar, of course. So that's us ready to do a bit of welding. I'm not sure what will happen when I film welding. So we're all ready to go. Got the air strap on device here, and this can be very temperamental. Sometimes it works first go and sometimes it doesn't. one done. Just a bit of touch up for the grind. So I was welding the other one up while you were gone, and I've run out of welding wire now, so this is an absolute sod of a job to do. For this particular welder, you have to take it to bits practically, so this is my new roll of welding wire, £5. Local auto body place. So we're going to do that now. As usual, I only want a couple inches off of this. Right, in this particular welder you can never get the wire to come through for some reason. So we're going to have to dissect it a bit to get the wire through, I'm afraid. So I've done it so many times, I know just to do this to start with. I've had this welder for about 20 years now. Take the handle a bit. Well, maybe not 20 years, but 15. Long time anyway. So we've got 5 screws there to come out, and give it a wiggle to get the trigger to come out. That's it. And we'll have to cut it. You need a nice clean cut so you can pull it through the tube. That one, so I'll just have to pull this old wire out altogether. That's that out, so a trusty old leather in there. It's best to coil this stuff up because it'll trip you up and dig into you and all sorts. Right, so I've taken the handle off, and there's the tip at the end there that goes through. Take that off as well. Not losing it because it's the last one I've got. They are replaceable, and get some Allen keys to take this bit off now. Now there's a nice big hole for the wire to come through now, and then we'll put it all back together after. Right, so I've taken the plastic wrapper off, so I've got to be careful now because this is a coiled snake waiting to unwind. If you let go of this, the whole thing will just go. I bet you want to see that now, don't you? Don't think so. Not if I can help it. So keeping a good hold, otherwise it'll be away. I'll need a straight edge as well to feed it through the rollers. Keeping a tight hold. Right, and the end plate goes on there. It's keyed. The spring and the even now it likes to wind itself back and go toof. So we've got to be careful. I'm just going to do a close-up shot in a second here. Right, so that's it in. We've got to feed it in, so I'll bring the camera in and let you see that. Right, that's it. Got it fed through here. Now it's got to line up a little hole there, so it's a bit tricky sometimes to try and get it in the hole, and it's always one to come back in spring. Right, that's it started on its journey, so I'll just feed it through by hand just now. You can't use the motor, so we'll get this out straight, it makes it nice and easy. So just feed it through. You might want to fast forward here, this could get boring. Let's use the motor, so we'll lock it down. This comes down on there and locks it on. And then if we just turn the power, so when you push the trigger it, for some reason that's not going. That's nothing unusual with these things. That's it, we're going this time. No, we're not. Now all the fun. Stop it. What's wrong? It's running a groove in the wheel now. Try again. If at first you don't succeed, give up and go home. Oh well, I'm home, so it won't matter. Try again. Hey, we're away. So hopefully in a second you'll see the wire come out the end of there. There you go. So that's it threaded up. I've just to rebuild the handle. So I'll do that in a minute and then we can go back to welding. Okay. Right, I've finished that and I've given the inside a coat of red oxide paint because we won't be able to get that after. And what we're going to do now is decide where we're going to put the rails on here, on this old TV stand. It's an old Panasonic TV we had many years ago, but never threw the stand out because I like to keep things. So we'll have to get them exactly parallel, otherwise it won't run on the rails. What I'm going to do now is decide where it is, grind some bits clean for the welding, and then we're going to tack them on. Won't put them on to just little tacks in case we need to take them off again. And then try it, see how it goes. Right, I've cleaned up, ready for welding, so I'm going to tack the first one on. And take some measurements, just check I'm in the right place all the time. Right, we'll just check that's 20mm. They always say you should measure twice, but check again. That's as near as I can see with my eyesight. So, tack the other side. Bring off to the paint tube. Okay, so that one's tacked on. I'll do the other one while you. So I've welded the bits on now and I've put the wheels back on. Got that's 32mm plumbing pipe, but I've got two bits of 40mm we're going to use, but it seems to be running okay. So we'll give it a go and try and get it set up. We'll see how smooth it is running along the floor. You'll get to see the rest of the junk in my shed then. Yeah, give that a go. Right, we've got the track laid out now, so we'll just have a bit of fun with it and see what happens as we move along. I've got the camera on a little Gorilla tripod with magnets on it, so it might just shake a little bit. But it'll have a proper tripod eventually, which I might just go and get and see what we can do with. That's it, little thing zooming along its track there, so unfortunately the little Gorilla tripod's not working too well. What I'm going to do now is try a shot round to the side. So this is my old tractor wheel. Oh, we're falling off the end. That wasn't supposed to happen. Probably keep that in for fun. Right, unfortunately the little Gorilla tripod that it's on made it vibrate a little bit, so we'll see how it goes. It's running along the road quite well. Little buggy made. I think I'm gonna make a handle for it so you can push it while you're standing up, because it's a little bit jerky. And the camera was sitting on here with just the 3 magnetic feet from the Gorilla tripod. It seemed okay. I'll have a look at the computer in a minute. So I've got an old golf cart that I'm going to do something with, and fit up a handle on the back here so you can push it standing up. That's my next job. Don't know if I'm doing it tonight or not. See what happens. Probably do it tomorrow.